Mervin, do you want to go over some of the advantages that the EcuTek software has for the cars that you cover, and the features and some of the custom things that some of the other software companies may not have?
So when we develop a product, we don't just stop with the factory ECU maps that we do. We have a product called RaceROM. It's a way for us to add custom code to a base ROM file, and it's also a way for us to take it off again, which is quite important. So that enables us to add special custom features. In particular on the BRZ, we have the features that we brought across from our STI product, which is launch control, flat foot shift, auto blip. Now when I say launch control, that's a launch RPM. We don't just start with a fuel cut, we can control ignition, fuel and VVT while we're in that launch mode. It's a progressive launch mode against a time period as well. So it's not just simply a fuel cut with the clutch down, it is full launch control. In addition, the flat foot shifting, we can control ignition and fuel during flat foot shift, and the auto blip, we can control the throttle angle during auto blip, how much blip that we get. These settings are all available to our EcuTek tuners. In addition to that, we have speed density. It's not just speed density, i.e. you have to run MAF or speed density. We have hybrid speed density. This is quite a unique feature. I've not seen this on any other products. So we can run MAF at idle, speed density on boost, or we can run speed density at idle, MAF on boost. It's down to the tuner. They can set it up. They can transition between one and the other against RPM, boost pressure, or mass airflow. And it's a VE based speed density system now. On from that, we have four-way map switching. The four-way map switching allows us to set up 4 independent maps, and we simply switch between these maps by using the cruise control. We also drive the rev count to the tacho, so when we're in mode 1 we're saying 1000 revs, mode 2 2000 revs, and we drive it up and down with the cruise control. A very visual indication of which map switch mode we're in.
And that's all on the fly, correct?
That's all on the fly.
Map switching on the fly, so you can have different maps set up for different driving conditions, different launch control or traction control, that kind of stuff, turned on, turned off.
Very, very flexible. We can do things like we can have speed density enabled in mode 2, and we can have a MAF tune in mode 1. Not really a situation we would use, but it is possible.
Okay.
It's very versatile. The tuner decides what he wants to do. In addition to that, we have probably our biggest bling feature is the custom maps. I mean, it's just simply amazing. When one of our developers first suggested it to me, I couldn't see the appeal. I'm like, why would we want this? Yeah, but it's just like a blank map and you can do anything with it. What would we want to do with this? And here I am a year later, absolutely astounded at the things we've managed to achieve with it. Without custom maps, we would not be able to write our custom boost control, we would not be able to write our traction control, and we would not be able to use flex fuel sensor import. They're just a few of the features. We can put per gear rev limit in, we can put per gear ignition compensations, temperature compensations. The list is just endless. At the moment, I'm quite excited to get back home because I'm pretty sure we can pull in a true wideband and do closed loop fuel control on full load, full power. It just continues. Having the interaction with the dealers just tells me more and more things that we can do with the product.
And that's all due basically to being able to write your own custom maps based on sensor inputs from the ECU or through outside inputs like a wideband or like a ethanol content controller.
Yeah, correct.
And that's one of the huge things with, like, I know for instance the BRZ FRS is it's a factory NA car, but with your software and with the custom maps, you can make it completely safe and tunable with turbocharging on the factory ECU.
Yep.
Without any outside piggybacks for boost control and AFR and stuff like that.
No piggybacks required. We can pretty much do anything that you want to do. Even something like a boost limit. We can put a boost limit in where you go over a certain pressure, it will cut the fuel in. Not only over a certain pressure, we can put a timer on it so that we can go over that pressure, a quick pressure spike, we can set a timer against it, maybe 1 second. So we can have a pressure spike, boost cut doesn't cut in, but if we're continuously over, then it will cut.
Right. So basically you have almost endless possibilities as far as setting up safeties and fail-safes, which is huge because obviously when you're putting an entirely new forced induction kit on an NA car, you want to make sure that it's got fail safes.
Yep, correct. And we can turn it off, versatile between the 4 modes. We've got 4 map switch modes. Just because a custom map is acting in one mode doesn't mean it's going to work in all the others. You just simply turn it off as you want. When a custom map's working, we can put the check engine light while it's working.
Right.
So maybe you've got a map set up for high oil temperature. If the oil temperature gets too high, maybe you want to pull the vehicle back, maybe put a speed limiter on, maybe a torque reduction. We can put the light on the dash when the mode kicks in, oil temperature cools down, light goes out, full performance comes back. So there are just so many possibilities.
It's impressive. To me, it's very impressive to be able to do that all through the factory ECU without having to have 3 different sensors and piggybacks and wires and all that kind of stuff. It's really impressive.
The traction control is one of my favourites. I wanted to call it drift control, but there could have been a bit of a liability issue in there. But there's a lot of functionality in there. So with weighting factors that you can put in there, you can have different amount of aggression for the traction control depending on the modes. You have to turn off the standard traction control, which is pretty aggressive because anyone who's launched one knows that it just peels the throttle back and you lose the performance. So everybody drives around with the traction control off. But with EcuTek custom maps, we can set up a truly adjustable traction control, a progressive traction control that's different rates, different amounts of aggression depending on the map switch mode.
Right.
And I think the thing to say is this stuff is not easy.
Right.
No. So this takes a lot of hours, a lot of commitment, and a lot of time of dedicated people to get this stuff to work. You can't just go in there, fiddle about, find a map, go, okay, let's fit that up, stick it together, launch it.
Right.
It's a lot of testing, a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's evident because as far as I know, you're the only tuning company / software solution that has the custom maps feature.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's no one else is doing it. It must be a pretty big achievement to be able to do that.
It is. It is.
And the other big thing I think with you guys is you're an actual professional company that develops the software and then continually refines it and supports it.
Yes.
So if someone has a tune done with your software from a tuner, not only do they have the tuner who can refer to you guys for support if there was a question about something, they can actually come to you directly.
Yeah.
And there's the support there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did a recent questionnaire survey amongst all our dealers, and they came back that 97% said it was excellent support that we deliver. So that's the proof in the pudding.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big deal. I mean, if you're, for instance, if you're using something like open source, it's just software. There's no support.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you got a problem or if you have a question or something goes wrong and you can't figure it out, who can you turn to? There's no one there.
And Merv and Chris, who both deal with the support, they're pretty dedicated. So if you've got a problem, then we'll sort it out. So
awesome. Well, it's very impressive.
And we're tuners. I've been tuning cars 25 years, so we know the products, we know the marketplace, we know the problems people have, and we know pretty much the features that people want. So it just gets better and better.
it does. We've got a great product. We just keep making it better.
Excellent.
Thanks
Cool.
very much.